Welcome to the shit show.
Wow. We lost the music. Tom.
Yeah, that happens.
It's fine. You know, sometimes you got to wake people up and jump them. You know what I mean? Jump them into
jarring.
You know
it's jarring.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You've heard the song enough. You know what it is. By the way, there's credits for it in the YouTube, which I am legally obligated to put in there. But it's nice. It's good music. I like the music that I picked for this. So
Hell yeah,
look at
brother.
that creator, right? Pay creators directly. Start buying local, right?
You should always buy local though, right?
Yeah.
Like that should be, you should support your friends. One other thing too is, hold on, sorry about that. Here's the thing. If you have a friend that provides a service or a good, don't ask for a fucking discount like a cunt. Okay. Pay full price. Like that doesn't, oh, hey, I know someone. They're going to give us a free smoothie or whatever the fuck they provide. Like pay full price, asshole. If you want to fucking, skim the edges, go steal from Target and Walmart and all those assholes. And if you don't know how to do it, the fuck, you didn't grow up in the early 2000s? Dumb shits.
For any feds watching, this is all for entertainment purposes.
You know what, Tim? No. So I told you this off air, and so now I'm feeling a certain way. So
like to point out that
I had
Tom
a cowardice.
said no,
Yeah. Well, I had a cowardice moment today as I was coming back home, and I don't want to feel that way again. So you know what? This isn't for entertainment. This is straight up. If you want to learn how to fucking steal stuff, hit me up. I'll teach you. I did it the entire time of my life. What is that called? The klepto?
the entire time in my life.
The entire time of my life. I've always stolen something.
It's a great song title right there.
Well, is it called a klepto when you steal?
Yeah, I think so. I mean,
so here's the thing.
Not a psychiatrist here, but
right. Whatever, Here's the thing that's fun. I still steal some things. You just like the rush,
Well, Tom, you've stolen the hearts of our fans. I know that.
And I'm not stealing, again, going back to the main thing, buy local and support those people. Steal from the fucking people who steal from you.
This is your weekly reminder. The Nazis are here. It's time to do something, right? And the Nazis are ingrained in big business. So one of the ways you can do something is stop giving them your goddamn money, right?
Exactly.
Buy local, find people you'd like to support, and buy from them. You'd be surprised. Everything's, shampoo's the same, right? You buy it from a local, person who made it. It's going to work just as well as the other stuff. Like
I buy local soap. I buy it from a soap company locally. It's so fucking great. But anyhow,
looking around.
Yeah, I'm all over the place because I had a moment that I haven't experienced since like high school. And so I'm mad at myself for being a coward, but we move on, right? We keep
what you've experienced more recently than high school though? The Chiefs go into the Super Bowl and they're doing it again. And everybody knew this was going to happen.
Well, guys, you know what's going to be hard? Here you go. We always ask you to, send us your ideas for AEW or your thoughts on AEW. And we definitely want you to continue to do that. However, for people who join the live stream, thank you again so much. How am I going to add a fourth newspaper?
Yeah.
Where am I going to? So give me that. If anyone knows home design, where will I put my Travis Kelce retires as a Super Bowl champ and marries
as the
Taylor
most
Swift?
Pass-catching receiver ever in Super Bowl history?
Yes, exactly. And by the way, you losers, you losers of life who say that the refs have rigged it for us. So here's the thing. The
34th largest media market in the nation, they're rigging it for, not the Dallas Cowboys or anything.
Yeah. So the NFL, made up of 32 individual owners, are going to collude. And the Dallas Cowboys, Jerry Jones is like, I guess we got to give Clark another Super Bowl. The fuck are you thinking? And you think, hold on. And then you think the commissioner is in it. The commissioner works for the owners. The owners could easily fire that guy, Roger Goodell, time they want. So you think, oh, no. We got to get Kansas City Say it again. Kansas City. The fucking stuff.
Missouri.
Yeah. Half the country doesn't even know if we're in Kansas or in Missouri. So like maybe that's what they're doing. They're doing geographical like information to help the world
here's
know
the deal.
that it's in Missouri. Yeah.
You could, if you go with me on this theory that they needed a villain, and they're like, let's put the villain in a place so remote from everybody else that the rest of the country can easily hate this villain.
Yeah, but you would do it to New York, right? Like New York is so yeah.
It's already a villain, you know what I mean? Or Los Angeles, yeah.
Yeah. So
San Francisco. They would have made San Francisco because all these hillbillies out in the rest of the, the Chicagos, the Indianapolises, the Dallases, the Kansas Cities.
Here you go.
Yeah.
So actually, we're fighting the good fight because they did want San Francisco, that hippie town, to take over. But you know what we did last year? We beat them. And now
we rolled in with our barbecue and our cowboy hats for no reason.
And now they want that liberal city of Philadelphia, the first capital of America, with all those bricks and beautiful
brotherly
dogs.
Love sounds gay, right?
Yeah. So we're fighting that too, guys. That's what we're doing. And Theo, no, we're not buried in snow. It's actually walkable weather. It's low 40s, I think, out where I'm at.
It rained a bunch today.
I love walking in the rain. Yeah. I love walking in the rain. I don't like to wear
but I mean, it was where I'm at. That makes muddy, right?
Yeah,
real muddy.
Stop living next to grass, and you know what I mean. So, live next to some people is what I'm saying.
Project 2025 is going to take care of that for us, right? It's going to burn all up here with the.
Yeah, you're going to be first, but that's not what we're here to talk about. Even though somewhat it's fun to talk about, we're here to talk about. We write Substack articles. Check it out. No, I'm kidding. We do, but
we do, both of us. Wrestling related, non-wrestling related. You can find it all.
Yes, go check out Substack. We have all the links on all our things. Hey, and don't go to apps anymore. Visit the websites. That's fun. I mean, go to Substack, but you know what I'm saying? Like, stop letting apps rule your life.
There's one website you should go to, allelitewrapup.com, for all the links you should need. Find us on the Blue Skies, the Substacks, links to our articles where you can then click on our faces and find our other non-wrestling related content. Support your friends.
Yes, support your friends, and we're going to support.
Miss Fitness says they're great articles, which is Lisa from the from the pod.
Lisa, by the way, hit us up if you still want to talk into a microphone or express opinions. We'd love to hear from you. But with that being said, let's talk about Dynamite. So that's what we're here to talk about. We went on tangents. Sometimes that's what happens.
Chief.
We're all ready to go, wound up. Kansas City versus everybody, but they were not in Kansas City last night. They were in the VBC Probst Arena in Huntsville, Alabama, the granddaddy of them all. And we kick it off with, would you say, the top babyface in AEW, the aerial assassin, Will Ospreay? Would you say that he is the top good guy in AEW right now?
Well,
in the traditional
Kenny Omega
sense.
just returned, but is Kenny Omega going to stay that way? I floated this idea last week, and maybe he's still alive.
He takes on Will Ospreay, that is Hercules. No, I'm actually kidding. It's Brian Cage, who looks like Hercules. Go look back at an 80s photo of Hercules and look at Brian Cage. Same fucking person.
You mean the wrestler Hercules? Yeah.
Yes.
Theo says, I can't wait till All Elite Wrap-Up has a call-in section. Well, you can do what Ash does. You can send an audio clip in to aewrapup@gmail.com, and we'll play that.
We will always play that. Yes.
Or
where
video, or type it out.
UnPG. Or what was his name?
UnPGBL.
Yeah, send us something in.
We can venture into some UnPG things, right?
Listen, we need to have it recorded.
There's some lines we won't cross anymore that maybe we would have crossed then, but we could still be UnPG here.
Yeah, did you hear my rant earlier? Anyhow, so we got Will Ospreay, Brian Cage, and they're doing the wrestle, right? Wrestle. And guess what? Ospreay wins. After the match, though,
Ospreay won?
Yeah, Archer ambushes Will Ospreay, swarming him with strikes. So Kenny Omega comes out, and again, hate to nitpick, but guys, I know what we're watching is not a real fight. However, this hit to the gut of a chair. Lance Archer just immediately bends over and looks back and waits for a chair shot to the back while Brian Cage just stands there. Like, let's make it a little bit, you know what I mean? Like, this is dire and like violent. I don't know.
Yeah. Again, I would rather it be ugly. Like you miss time, you fall. Like that's more realistic than, you know, I understand there's a time and point for the pomp and circumstance and the large flip and the guy standing under the lights, but like this ain't it, right? Beat down. Well, I'm just saying,
like Lance Archer just immediately like.
Well, that's what I mean. Like you don't have to choreograph it, is what I'm saying. Like get out there and just, you know, you got to wind up with your ass kicked, but like let's not like, and then you'll hit me in the back with the chair when I duck it. Like, just go out there and have a fight.
Well, and take a page from Terry Funk. Obviously, he's the greatest of all time, but what I mean by that is his stuff was ugly, right? There was a lot of ugliness in his kind of wrestling and presentation. So take a page out of that, add some authenticity to it. Now, with that being said, let's finish up this segment because I will give kudos to someone at the end of this segment. So Archer and Brian Cage beating up on Ospreay. Kenny Omega comes out. Well, that then brings out Fletcher and Takeshita. They jump him. They have the numbers. They stand over him. Here's where I would say credit to Kenny Omega. He kept continually fighting. So they tried to do the, like, we stand over you. Let's take a picture. Ospreay and Kenny are down. And Kenny was like, no, I'm going to try to hit you again. And then they would hit him again more. And then he'd be like, no, I'm going to keep trying to hit him again more, to where credit to Will Ospreay as well. He, I am assuming, ad-libbed and then like laid over Kenny Omega so that they would stop beating him up. But I did like that. I like the, like, don't just lay down because you took a clothesline or whatever.
Well,
you know?
So rewinding to Collision, which we don't normally cover a whole lot here. The Don Callis family had a segment, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this was, I liked this, right? Where this was very like movie-esque, right? And I think I was a little upset. I was like, why stuff like this on Dynamite? When I see Don Callis family on Dynamite, let's do that, right? Like we can highlight these guys a little better. And he said, who said there's only 5 of us, right? Because one of the guys was like, there's 5 of us. And so, remember, I floated the idea of Kenny Omega potentially being the bad guy here, or are we just being led down to think that and somebody else is involved here?
I would think someone else is involved.
I would think so too, but man.
But it also feels like, well, we would get the Kenny Omega Will Ospreay match. How would we do it?
Back to Kenny Omega in the suit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The cleaner, the fun jackets. I was going to grab the action figure, but I don't want to tip all of them over.
Domino effect over there, yeah.
But it could be. Here's the thing: if it is someone not Kenny Omega, I don't want a net new person. I want someone that's already in the company. Right? Yeah, but don't make it the newest. Yeah, like I don't want a new signing.
Like it needs somebody to be impactful. I don't want this to be, because again, is the Don Callis family, is there a main guy? Because it feels like Fletcher sometimes gets the rub, but Takeshita gets the rub, and now we're just going to add another guy in the mix.
Well, let me throw this at you real quick, because we know they love to do it. What if it's not just one member? What if it's 2 members? And what if those 2 members are the EVPs? Right? They need cover. They were shredding stuff.
Right, because he just said it's only 5 of us. He didn't say it's 6 of us.
Yeah. He didn't specify a number. So you could have the EVPs get cover from Don Callis, right? So now they got protection, and Takeshita, Kyle Fletcher, Brian Cage, Lance Archer. They're going after Kenny Omega because they fucking don't like Kenny Omega, right? They fired him as the EVP, but they couldn't, you know? And then there you go. You got a tag match of the EVPs versus Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega. Come on. You know what I mean? That writes itself right there. That match is going to be for all the hardcore fans. And I think it'd just be easy.
If you got ideas on who this might be, hit us up. Again, there's aewrapup@gmail.com. We're on the Blue Sky. You can find us there. alleatwrapup.com for all those links. Or you can get in the chat. Talk to us live when we do these shows. If you're listening back on the podcast later and you didn't watch this live, I mean, you know, you probably feel a little shamed for not being as cool. And that's fine. I get it. But there's time to change that next week.
Come on. Now, let's get into what I thought was the most interesting segment in the entire show, and it was a split second. So we're backstage, and Renee Paquette is trying to get a word with Swerve Strickland.
Yeah.
Well, as she's standing in front of Swerve Strickland's locker room, who runs by her to then try to get into the locker room of Swerve Strickland, but his arch rival, Hangman Adam Page.
Yeah.
Now, Swerve was not in the locker room, so then Hangman just runs by Renee again. We then, and by doing that, have Hangman and MJF come face to face. So let's take a pause right there. Obviously, we're going to get a word from Swerve Strickland because of his battle, his feud currently with Ricochet. Ricochet has a match tonight against AR Fox. AR Fox and him, buried the hatchet. So what would his thoughts be on this match? That makes sense. What do you make of Hangman trying to find Swerve?
That was interesting. Yeah, we don't know. Is he trying to find Swerve because, I'm ready to fight him again tonight? Or was it, you know what I mean?
Let's rewind a little bit. The last time we saw Hangman Adam Page, he was having his world crumble in front of him when he realized he ended the career of Chris.
Was he maybe going to say, listen, I started this 12-step program. This is my making amends.
Brother, I'm not calling this. I'm not calling it because whatevs.
Sounds like you're calling it.
Well, what I'm saying is I said it, but
you're floating the idea. I didn't call Kenny Omega as the
right, exactly.
Man.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. But I did say, if you remember a few months ago, that the two people that takes down the Death Riders is Swerve Strickland and Hangman Adam Page. If you could turn up the chaotic violence of the Death Riders, having Swerve and Hangman reconcile
up, right?
Then to take out John Moxley, because John Moxley has beat the shit out of both of those guys.
Yeah, listen, I hate you with every fiber of my being, but I want to be able to continue to be here so I can find you and legally kick the shit out of you anytime I want. So we need to save this place. So we're going to not kill each other today while we kill them.
Exactly.
All right. Let's ride. Literally, you can be like, let's ride. And you just look at his horse and be like, nah, I'm cool, man. I'll meet you there.
A car pulls up and he gets into the car.
Yeah, Limo's like, no, I'll meet you there. Yeah. So, you're good. You're good with that, man.
So, I don't know. I think, look, that's fun. Now, the second part of this, before we move on, was this is now the second week in a row, I believe it is, that Hangman and MJF have had this awkward tension stare down. We're going to get at this at a later date kind of vibe. What do you make of that?
So, Tom, I think, and I've got an article in the works, another article up for the AllEliteWrapup.com about this impending battle or feud maybe that I think is coming. And I think this may not be in exactly what you were after, but I think, remember when you were like, we need a new Ric Flair, Dusty Rhodes of the times, and your Dusty Rhodes was Eddie Kingston? I think we may be filling in Hangman for this with Eddie Kingston's long-term injury, and then we'd have to build him back up into that. And I think maybe it's a little more ready to do it with this and the character depths of both of these guys.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The stuff we can pull on this would probably even fit better than your Eddie Kingston point. You know what I mean? Because I just don't think we've done enough work here with Eddie Kingston, and I think we're going to get something along those lines, and we're going to explore some emotions and depths from these two fellas that you wouldn't have seen in wrestling otherwise, I think.
Well, and another thing that would add to the, two pillars of the company fighting for different philosophies of how they see wrestling is they're both day one guys, right?
Yeah.
For as much as I love Eddie Kingston, and he is right there, one of the greatest of all time, he's not necessarily a day one AEW guy. Hangman showed the damn logo of AEW that, discovered we discovered what that looked like. And then MJF, I believe, was like the second match of AEW Dynamite history or something like that. So that would also add a layer.
So let me throw this in there too. Moxley is, prior WWE, but I mean, a day one guy.
He's a day one.
AEW,
Yeah.
And also has his vision of what AEW is and how to get over. And
yeah.
You want to talk about pillars here? I know we tried to make these young up and comers, but Moxley is a
current
pillar.
Pillars. Yeah.
Right.
Current. Yeah. We need to fight. Hypothetically, we need to fight WWE. You're not grabbing Sammy Guevara. You're grabbing John Moxley. You know what I mean?
Misfit mess. Yeah. Lisa says anything to get MJF to evolve his promos and go back to trying. Well, yeah. I mean, look, if you were like, hey, get in the game, right, Tom? You're up to bat, and pitching is Steve from the factory. You're gonna be like, oh man, fine.
Yeah. But then you say it's Clayton Kershaw.
You're like,
I'm gonna see what happens here. Yeah. I agree, because the post MJF, surgeries and kind of time off from being the champion for a year and doing every single show, a convoluted mess of a story with Adam Cole, which then we've moved on from.
Yeah.
And then now old
1994 Adam Cole.
Yeah, exactly. And now we've got Jeff Jarrett. And so it's like, he's also not working with the best, in my opinion. So, but I will agree. He is kind of playing the hits with the promos.
Yep. You
kind of have to in this regard with Jeff Jarrett. But the most interesting MJF has ever been was, the origin story of how he became MJF because of CM Punk leaving the WWE, and that left him in a vulnerable state. Like those kind of revealing promos. Yeah, that's the absolute best of MJF.
MJF should have said, the reason I hate you is because I'm MJF and you are JJ, and I can't have that. You can't be out here with two J's when I've got a J. And you can't represent anything about me because you suck. You're the worst. You're carny trash.
Yeah.
I'm going to beat the J's out of your name. You're going to be F-era.
Well,
Eric. Yeah.
So let's talk about what he says here. He goes, he first off says he ain't going to let Hangman Adam Page ruin his mood. So fucking get out of here. He kind of yells down the hall. I did like that. He's like, yeah. I'm fine, and actually time out real quick. I loved this style of a segment, because it's not the camera's there and the wrestlers don't know, but it's also not, they just happen to be standing off camera. That could legitimately happen, that MJF is walking to catering. Hangman was looking for Swerve, and then they bump into each other.
No, I loved it.
But
that
Renee's
felt very
there.
Real.
Yeah.
And she's getting pissed off because she's like, somebody fucking talk to me.
Right. She's trying to get a story. Yeah. And so, more of that. That was perfect.
We're live, pal. Somebody's got to fucking talk. Right?
Well, it brought me to the point that you made of this is a traveling circus. They would be running into each other. Yes. Live events. Trust me, I was a live event coordinator. Everyone runs into everyone backstage.
How many times? I guarantee I don't even have to know this answer, Tom. How many times did you have to prevent somebody who was like, I can't wait till fucking Bill shows up. That motherfucker was talking about me online, and now what, motherfucker? And you're like, nope, you're gonna be over in this room.
Yeah.
And Bill's actually said to be in this room.
Well, and here's the other fun one that I had to learn the hard way is teammates. You think MMA is an individual sport. And so, to a certain degree it is. So when you just put blue corner here, red corner here, and then you realize that red corner's best friend is in the blue corner locker room, and then that guy is talking shit to his opponent, and now you've got to stop this potential fight.
Yeah.
You got to do your research.
That's exactly they could use all of that.
Yeah. So
all of that.
I did like that. But now going back to what MJF said here, he goes, tonight, Jeff Jarrett, you fucked yourself, buddy, because you're going to go out there alone, because I could have helped you, but you're not going to get it. And you're facing the killer Claudio Castagnoli. Sucks to be you. Okay. Then we move on. And I really hope that this isn't real. I hope we're just playing into an angle. But we get a pre-taped interview from Powerhouse Hobbs. He says he wasn't cleared to be at Dynamite, but when he is cleared, he's going to send him to hell, and that's just the beginning. So if we rewind a little bit, on Collision, Big Bill, Powerhouse Hobbs started a fight in the parking lot that got, separated. Big Bill then goes out to the ring, calls out Powerhouse Hobbs again. I think, again, if you could do a take two, the handcuffs thing, something happened with the handcuffs where Big Bill couldn't get it on Powerhouse Hobbs.
Mm-hmm.
So then they kind of do this thing and then they do this hug and then jump through some tables, right? So I really hope Powerhouse Hobbs isn't hurt. What do you think?
Again? I know. I'm hoping for the best. And this was like, hey, man, I got a wedding that I got to be at, the best man, or something, right? I'm hoping for the best. And then we see Powerhouse Hobbs back soon. Or maybe he got COVID, right? Something.
Or a cut. Yeah, let's just say he got a cut that needed stitches and he can't wrestle until it's healed.
Bought this Jeff Jarrett gold and dyed my hand purple and I got
another victim to Global Force Gold. By the way, side note, I finally pulled the trigger. I got that Powerhouse Hobbs t-shirt, the one that looks like an album cover where he's wearing the mink coat.
Well, and he said, I told you we're going to go to hell, and now you're going to find out hell is just the beginning. I put out in the Blue Skies that would be a good shirt for Powerhouse Hobbs. Hell is just the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah. And to clarify, I got the one where it looks like an album cover. I didn't get the big black and jacked. I did not buy that shirt. Okay. So just clarification.
Yeah.
That is a shirt you could buy.
I mean, it's a shirt you could buy, but you might get some looks if you were just at like the Sunfresh out there. Nope. You know what I mean? Getting some bananas. He'll be like,
doing that one.
Brother, what? I don't think you're any of these three things.
Yeah. And the Sunfresh and Westport, they'll get you.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So
there you go.
Let's keep it moving.
Head on a swivel with that one, I bet. Yeah.
Gunshots, a lot of time. Really fun. Get a banana shot in the leg. Why not? We get our matchup here. We get Jeff Jarrett taking on Claudio Castagnoli. By the way, Claudio, trios champ.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Yeah. What's look, I'm not sold on the trios as a division. I know
I kind of am right now. Because if you consider, let's go to a future state. I think we can both agree as of right now, Adam Copeland's not beating Jon Moxley for the world championship, right?
Oh, true.
So
right.
Let's go future state. You can do the Undisputed Kingdom of Kyle O'Reilly, Adam Cole, and Roderick Strong. You got the champions. You could do rated FTR.
Yep.
I still think, even though
then why don't we just do away with tag team divisions? Like, I would rather we just, instead of tag teams in AEW, we got trios.
I mean, that would be cool. I think that would set you apart. Again, I'm always for anything that makes you different than the competition.
Yeah.
Hey, they got tag teams. We got trios. Do you got tag teams? Fuck that. No, it's three.
Yeah.
It's 3
Nerds.
on 1. Yeah. Dorks.
Give it the program.
Yeah.
I do think. Wrestle. So we got the best of them. So we got to put 6 of them in a match.
Yeah. I do like that idea. Because, as far as tag team, because I was going to go with this and then I realized I guess he's leaving the company, which I don't give a shit. But the Hounds of Hell.
Yeah.
If you do Buddy Matthews and Brody King versus the Hurt Syndicate, holy shit.
I'm leaning in on this Hounds of Hell thing, man. They could really, they start barking more, get some cool masks and stuff, right, that they're wearing out. And so, like, yeah, lean into being the cool thing to get behind here and being violent. Yep. Yeah.
You see that motherfucker standing behind Lashley? That's scary as shit.
I don't hate the idea of Julia Hart being a little spooky still, right? Where they can sprinkle in some spooky stuff if she needs it. But if they can just make this more, we're bringing the chains and the baseball bats, right? And the billy clubs, crowbars.
Yeah.
And we are ready to break stuff.
And I do love the angle that, like, you know how I kind of watched the movie, so maybe I'm doing a bad job of using this as an example, but you know how, like, King Kong had a soft spot for the little girl. And so, like, the little girl essentially kind of controlled his heart, where if she was saying, if she wanted to be evil and say, like, take out that city, King Kong would have done it for her. If you use Julia Hart in that regard, to where the Hounds of Hell, both Buddy and Brody feel like they have to protect her. And then she's like, yeah. And guess what? I want to see the world burn. And they're like, fuck yeah. Who are we going after? I do like that idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do like that.
But back to this, Jeff Jarrett and Claudio, man, look, I said this on the Blue Sky. I know this is pro wrestling, right? You got a lot of heat before for saying this isn't a sport. This is a performance, right? This is Cirque du Soleil before it's football, right?
Yep.
I know we are to suspend our disbelief to go along and play along with some of this, but I am not on board with pretending Jeff Jarrett would have lasted even half as fucking long as he did in a match against 14 ab Claudio here. Man.
I agree. Yeah.
What? Claudio needed outside interference to pull this off at the end. Like, what? Full stop. We can't do that, right?
Well, especially because you could potentially, again, aesthetically, looking at Claudio, looking at Jeff Jarrett, you could pull it off if Claudio wasn't a veteran, right? Jeff Jarrett is using his veteran.
Right.
Claudio's been in this game for 20 years.
25 years deep in this shit.
Yeah. So, like,
Claudio's the old head here now, right? He's the veteran. Jeff Jarrett is like that guy's dad. What are we talking about? I don't.
Yeah.
Man.
So
this feels like somebody gave Jeff Jarrett too much creative control. I don't know what's going on here.
Well, the only thing that I can think of, let's do a secret time here. The only thing that I can think of is because potentially peeking behind the curtain, he landed the venues for Huntsville, Alabama, and all these cities. Tony Khan was like,
I pulled these strings, Tony.
Yeah, then we'll give you something fun to do. MJF is bored. Go with him. Like, that's the only thing.
I brought us a promo deal with 18 Cricket wirelesses and in Paducah, Kentucky. Jesus. Fine.
Right. And he probably thought, hey, MJF is the top heel. That will make me look good. It will give MJF a different aspect, because it is different. I will say that. MJF with such a veteran like Jeff Jarrett is somewhat interesting on paper, except for it's Jeff Jarrett. That's the part that sucks.
But what do we do now? Did we end the Jeff Jarrett thing? Like, he got shit on, like, he loses to Claudio's group. MJF comes out and shits on him. Are we done? Or is he going to come out and give a mission statement and rah, we're back and one more match?
This is what I think, because it's March 9th is the next pay-per-view. I could easily.
I want that. I want him to be like, one more match, and then Christian come out and be like, bitch, what are you doing? And then his whole team beats the shit out of him also. Anyway, you were saying.
Well, what I was going to say is I could easily envision a Jeff Jarrett tricks MJF. Hey, next week he comes out. You know what, MJF? You were right. God dang it. You still got that offer? What?
I'm sorry. I should have listened to you. I see the light.
And then you do Jay low blows MJF. Then they laugh at MJF. Now MJF is pissed off. At the pay-per-view, we get Jeff Jarrett versus MJF for some stipulation. I bet you it'll be some stipulation. If Jeff Jarrett wins, he finally gets his title shot or some bullshit like that, right? Like,
he gets to be in next year's Continental Classic.
Yeah. Fucking neat. Yeah, so MJF comes out, shits on him, and we move on. Renee Paquette backstage, she's interviewing Ricochet. And Renee says, hey, Tony Khan gave me the word that if Swerve interrupts in this match, he doesn't get to fight you next week. And Ricochet is like, oh, you don't say? Well, guess what? Check this shit out. I'm going to beat someone up. And he does. So we get Ricochet versus AR Fox. And I think this is where, Tony, you should hire me. I think what we're missing with AR Fox in this is, it was mentioned by Excalibur, but just kind of in passing, AR Fox is essentially the godfather to Ricochet and Swerve Strickland, right? So we already know the relationship Swerve has with AR Fox, right? They're in a group, then they weren't, now they're a group. And we saw last week after Swerve beat him, they reconciled. Hey, let's move forward
Put her
together.
there.
Okay. Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, AR Fox also back in those days was running with Ricochet, and they kind of
Old
said
Trev.
it, but then, right. And so I wish AR Fox was like, hey, now that I face both of you guys, like give it an extra week. They should have done this, give it like next week for him to do this, but say like, I face both of you guys. And the only thing I know is one of you is going to die. Like you guys don't have control anymore. Like you're too angry. You're too filled with hate. Because make him into this. Because really all he is just a chump, right? Hey, you lost to Ricochet. Hey, you lost to Swerve Strickland. Like give him purpose in this.
There could be, like, I know there's a tie, but there could be a reason, right? That he's used for something. I liken him to the old head dunking on you in the basketball game still, and you're like, dude, how are you still doing this, man?
Yeah, he's always the guy at the YMCA Saturday morning running with like 20-year-olds. You're like, get off the court.
Yeah, and there's also like a kayak on top of his. He's 74 years old. You're like, dude, what? Hey. This Ricochet as the like, I don't want to say antisocial, but like, not good with social cues, sociopathic murderer. I don't like. Is a great character with the scissors and this man.
Well, yeah. So let's talk about that. So we get a good old wrestling match, right? Wrestle.
Oh, they
Ricochet
wrestled.
hits.
Yep.
Yeah. And Ricochet, I don't like the spirit gun thing. It's the gun club.
It's 15 yards in the NFL.
Well, yeah, but like the gun club has that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let them do.
There's a lot of guns, right? The Young Bucks do it too.
Exactly. So like, let them have it. But he hits the finisher. Wow, there you go. Then after the match, Ricochet is like, guess what? I'm going to kill this motherfucker. And so he pulled out a pair of scissors from I don't know where. He's like, haha, gonna kill him. Watch this, everyone. This is gonna be great. And then Swerve Strickland goes, oh, guess what, ho? The match is over. And he pulls him, and I'm gonna beat him up. Right? They go wrestle, right? Fight. And then Swerve gets to the top of the rope, and he's like, I'm gonna stomp this motherfucker through the fucking ring. And Ricochet goes, oh, really? What if I grabbed your friend? And then put scissors to his throat and is like, huh?
This just came to me right now. I mean, I'm throwing this out. And I'm not advocating for this thing, but like, what if right when Swerve and AR Fox look like they're finally ready to put this Ricochet thing to bed, and they're about to finally beat him down enough, maybe they've got the scissors, and Ricochet's new friend, the Scissor King, comes out. Anthony Bowens, and now he's like, nah, you don't mess with the Scissor Gang. And now he's riding with him, and they're both scissoring fools. Takes the scissors to a different dimension, if you will.
Well, here's another reason why there needs to be priority or continuity, someone to tie things together and keep, but like keep the things going. Because as you mentioned, Anthony Bowens and Max Caster.
Yeah, what happened to those guys? Yeah.
Well, Max Caster said he's going to put out an open challenge. Win.
Yeah.
You know, like,
and what's up with the Scissor King? Like, what's up with Anthony Bowens? What's he doing about
it? Where's daddy ass Billy Gunn? Right. Yeah. His sons are coming back. We just saw a promo. Well, we'll see later in the episode, the promo package of them coming back. Right. Where is he now? But Tim, instead of doing all of that, what we get is Chris Jericho and the New York Minute.
Longest minute in television.
Get out of the way, man. Just get out of the way and have Big Bill talk to Powerhouse Hobbs.
Can't somebody also... The New York Minute was like a 2-week thing when they were in New York, or why are we still calling it this? Does anybody even remember that?
The only reason I can think, and this is me just pulling, a rabbit out of a hat, is that ROH is kind of a New York based promotion, right? That's kind of where they ran shows. I know they kind of ran everywhere, but they would do primarily East Coast.
That felt home base, right?
Right. Like exactly. New York.
Yeah,
exactly. And so that now he's the ROH champion. That's the tie he has. But I couldn't tell you. I'm just making that up. It's
bad,
it's
whatever
depressing.
it is. But you're right, man. I'm ready for this Big Bill thing to break out. Big Bill, I think, has got enough to not need the Jericho thing anymore. He's developed a little bit of his own kind of personality again, right? And I think we can, that's not to say he doesn't necessarily need somebody with him, right? We can get him a manager or another, like a partner to work with, but like this Jericho thing is dead. And I would rather just Big Bill be talking to Powerhouse Hobbs right now.
Exactly.
Like you said. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Here's where I would do it. Again, give me the fucking pin, Tony Khan. We're going to do Chris Jericho off the fucking show. Yeah. Can't see it. But like, get him off the fucking show. He's not needed. It's dumb. I would emulate the same style of feud that Camille had with Chris Statlander and do that with Powerhouse Hobbs and Big Bill. Oh, you think you're fucking stronger? The fuck you are.
I'm too much meat. Man. I'm a powerhouse.
I'm meat. And then we're just going to fucking figure it out, right? I'm not saying we steal every idea from past things that have happened, but if you said Powerhouse Hobbs, Big Bill, best of 5, you wouldn't watch that?
Yeah, I would. I want to point out, too, that I noticed this a couple of weeks back, and I don't think we touched on this. In pro wrestling, we all have like phrases about ourselves, right? And Big Bill's is too much man, which is great. And some people will then put that phrase on the back of their ass, on their trunks, right? But not Big Bill was smart enough to put that right on the front, right in the crotch, right? Like too much man, right? That's some Rick Rude stuff. That's good. That's good stuff. Right
I do like that. I think he's great. I don't think Jericho's good anymore. I definitely, no offense, but I don't think, what's this guy's name? Who's
the bad apple? Brian Keith.
Brian Keith, brother, you ain't it.
Brother, first of all, you stole 2 first names. And so,
you never trust a man with 2 first names.
Can't do that,
Yeah, that's a rule of life. You never trust a man with 2 first names. Yeah. Go back to the still tipping, walking out to that theme song. Don't say anything. Just don't. You have a cool presentation. Just don't talk. You ain't good. But in this New York Minute on Collision, we're going to get Jericho and Brian Keith taking on the Outrunners, because it wouldn't be Chris Jericho if he didn't try to steal the
siphon
momentum.
off the cool. Yeah.
What's going on? What's cool? Oh, I'm there now.
Put me in a match with those guys and I'll really get it over. Yeah. Wait till we see the Outrunners in a New York Minute. Like, Jesus fucking. I hope the Outrunners find a good way to shit on these guys.
Yeah, I hope the fucking Rock and Roll Express we find out are okay.
But again, Outrunners, I feel like we've lost steam because we didn't really do anything with them.
Well, we didn't give them someone, right?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
The Outrunners.
Yeah, we didn't give them a hill to climb, right? There was nothing to tackle.
They're just fun.
No obstacle.
And it's like they are fun. So doesn't someone want to ruin that?
Right. Yeah. Feels like 3MB when they were just like, yeah, go out there and air guitar. Everybody loves that.
And you're like,
cool. We going to wrestle anybody today? And they're like, nah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dark match against a local talent. Get everybody clapping.
Who would you put the Outrunners with right now? I say you got to come up with the team.
Well, you can build to the Young Bucks, first of all, right? Because that's a good, battle. But, I mean, an early one is that Don Callis family, but I worry about, like, you kind of want to maintain that they're not just easily beatable. But, I mean, Outrunners overcoming them after having gotten beat a couple times, I would stick with that maybe. Let's go with the Murder Machines, right? That was like a first major obstacle to overcome.
I do like that. I was going to say.
Takes them a couple tries,
right?
But they get there.
Maybe it's because I just have a crush on him right now. I also got his shirt as well. But if you wanted to keep the Hounds of Hell heels, the Hounds of Hell and the Outrunners, I mean,
you
get more contrasting styles. I don't think you can find it. That would be fun. But I think we're doing the Hounds of Hell as like a babyface group because now everyone's saying,
Yeah.
you guys have the potential.
That's what I mean. I think, we're going to get, and I think they want the crowd. I think they want the barking. I
Oh,
think they want they'll have some merch for this, right? Edgy,
more action figures.
hard hitting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I agree with you though. The steam has kind of fallen off of the Outrunners because we ain't got a dance partner. So let's find that now. Speaking of dance partners, we get our next match. It is Switchblade Jay White taking on another trio champion, this time Yuta. And always remember, Yuta sucks.
Yuta sucks.
And what do we get here? Oh, we get a good old wrestle match, right? Wrestle. And
Good old wrestle
guess what?
match.
Yeah, good old wrestle match. They all did the old wrestle. And guess what?
Well, come on down to the wrestle match down here tonight at Bartle Hall.
Come on, wrestle. We're gonna watch him wrestling. I want to see him wrestle. We get Jay White.
Wrestling League. All right, anyway.
Yeah, easy. Wrestling. You want to side note? You want to piss me off any quicker? If you fucking call it wrestling, I just want to punch you square in your throat. Like,
yeah.
And like when you're being serious about it, like, oh man, you know what I really love? Wrestling. And you're like, what?
Yeah.
You bitch ass casual. It's not called wrestling. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Hey, if it's wrestling in your hearts, man, don't let Tom tell you your reality.
If it's wrestling in your heart, walk to the ocean and don't stop. That's what I'd say. Fucking keep going. Once you hit the water, keep it. Keep it moving.
With you. Tom, you were saying.
So Jay White hits old Yuta because he sucks with the Blade Runner. Aha, he won, right? Then he goes, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to hit this motherfucker with another one. Ha, does it again. And then the crowd's like, one more time. And he's like, oh, if you want me to, let's do it. So he picks him up. Then Moxley's like, oh, I thought you really wanted to fight me. And Jay White's like, I kind of do, you motherfucker. But I've got your little buddy right here, and I'm going to take his head off. And they're doing this stare down. And meanwhile, Claudio comes from behind, mollywops him in the back of the head, whop, hits him, falls to the ground. Now we're beating up on Jay White. Kick him, fight. Well, guess who comes out to, I will say, a huge pop, rated FTR. Copeland, FTR, chase off the Death Riders. Huge pop. I thought that was pretty good. What'd you think?
Yeah. A little unexpected because I thought maybe we were like, okay, so Jay White's going to do, he's going to be the next guy trying to vie against Moxley here. Maybe we still get that, especially with maybe what we saw later. But we still have FTR and Adam Copeland, rated FTR, to deal with, it seems like, for the Death Riders, right? This war is not over. Do we blend all three of these, or is this just Jay White and his pals will come along at the conclusion of the FTR?
I think yeah. So full disclosure, I think I missed this part. Dax Harwood gets on the microphone.
He gave one of his speeches.
Yeah. And so he says he hates what he did to his idol, Ricky Morton, even though let's not forget FTR did that to Rock and Roll Express during COVID. But guess what? On Collision, it's FTR.
He hates when you did it. He didn't hate when I did it. I had reasons.
Yeah.
We worked that out. It's good now. Thanks for bringing up old wounds, Tom.
Good. Yeah. Deal with it. Go to therapy. On Collision, FTR is going to take on the Death Riders in a Mid-South street fight. What?
Mid-South street fight sounds like a bad porn name.
Well, I thought you can't use that because Mid-South. Well, I guess if you said the full thing, but I thought Mid-South was a trademark WWE property.
Well, Mid-South Wrestling might be.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe that's
Mid-South. We're talking about Tennessee.
Yeah. Oklahoma. Okay. Fun. All right. So then Renee Paquette interviews.
There's going to be a cowbell in this match.
No, you know it.
Bull rope.
Okay. So there's 4 members, right, of the Death Riders. right? It's Pac, Yuta, Claudio, Moxley.
Maria Shafir.
What? Apparently we love getting the old guys out there for one more match. So why don't we put FTR and Adam Copeland with Dustin Rhodes? Doesn't that feel like it fits a hand in glove? Like right there?
Yeah.
It's all the same fucking person.
Yeah.
Like
it's all Texas, right? Or whatever.
Yeah. Texas isn't a gimmick. But anyhow, so I just thought of that. So let's move on. Renee interviews the best champion in AEW. I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to say that. I love Moxley. The close up that they showed of Moxley being interviewed with Renee in the like dungeon or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Worth your time. It fucking rules. You hear from all of them. Actually, old Mushmouth.
I forget. It's her
Close
show,
Up.
right? It's her Close Up.
Yeah. Yeah. Old Mushmouth, Marina Shafir, she actually doesn't suck in this one. She's pretty good. Did you ever see her on The Ultimate Fighter? God, she couldn't talk for shit. Because I told you, that's why I don't like her, is because she was roommates with Anthony on The Ultimate Fighter, and Anthony fucking hates her. And so I was like, well, then I hate her.
Yeah.
That's how I am. My friend hates you. I hate you. Yeah.
To this day, does he still, or would he be like, yeah, in hindsight?
I bet you he'd be like, oh, she still sucks, but doesn't have like the real like
right.
Hatred.
He's like, it ain't like fuck her, but it's like,
I ain't gonna go see her.
Yeah. Right. Everybody knows the difference. Yeah.
But the best champion in AEW. I'm gonna say it. Going out on a limb. I'm saying it's the best champion in AEW. Our women's world champion, the Glamour, Mariah May. And she comes out because she is shook. Now, why is she shook, you may ask? Well, I'll tell you. If we go back to Homecoming Collision, we got the return of timeless Tony Storm. And again, I don't want to pat myself on the back because
you were one of the first.
I think I was the only one, brother. I think I said it.
Yeah. And everybody's watching. Tony's watching. He got the idea and he ran with it. And everybody started to get hip to it because they watched the show each week, Thursday nights.
Yeah. Right at room time.
Perfect. Nailed it.
I got chills. I almost got chills fucking thinking about it. Who am I? I'm the fucking Rock smacking my arm like a goof.
Smack my forearm for an elbow I'm about to drop.
Yeah. But when on Collision, we do a face-to-face. Now, I wish I was talking to you because I called it right when she walked out because her makeup was wider than what it was when it was Tony time. Right then, I was like, oh, we're doing Timeless Tony Storm right now, right? So I didn't know how we were going to do it. But when she gets knocked down, it was fucking perfect. She crawls to the microphone. What makes you think I've forgotten?
Yeah, the voice drop. Right when I heard it, I was like, oh, we're on. It's done. Yes, the switch. It was a switch.
Oh,
yeah.
God, it was so fucking great.
And Mariah May knew it too. You know what I mean? Like, she sold that well too. Like, wait a minute.
And she says, what we just saw was a performance of a lifetime. Takes off her pants, takes off her shirt. And I
don't know what that was about, but it's shredding the timeless Tony, I think. But yeah, or the
I think
Tony time,
and I think the fishnet 1930 style was supposed to so it's timeless Tony Storm, right? But then
Blue Sky flagged it on our thumbnail as suggesting sexual content.
Oh no!
Yeah. Oh yeah. No.
oh, sex. Yeah. Now fucking more people are made. Anyhow, and we do it for fun. But
I always have fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I do. I don't know about
what was that one when you were like, oh, let's talk about finishing first. I always finish right on time for me. It was never a problem.
Yeah.
I
always finish right on time.
Yeah. I don't know what's
going on. It's a race. I won. Sucks for you. See ya. Oh man, to be single.
Maybe you should have tried harder. Focus, keep your head in the game, concentrate. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I tell you what, I really hope that we become famous doing this podcast. But as soon as we do, we've got to delete everything we've talked about.
Yeah, that can't happen for those reasons. So we can. It's got to stay just famous enough, right? With C-list celebrities here is all we aspire to.
Tell 3 friends. Don't tell 5. Just tell 3.
Yeah.
We're going to stay right
share
there.
this with your 3 most degenerate friends that you know.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
But let's talk about Collision still. So the thing that I just thought was amazing is somehow she talks about, and again, I'm going to paraphrase, but essentially that Mariah May may be the glamour, but she came from my womb or something like that.
Yeah.
And then she goes, I'm going to rip your tits off. And I was just like, fuck yeah. Tim, the only thing I would have added, just because I'm a prick and I could always just do one more thing, at the very end, I would have had her find a shoe and throw the fucking shoe at Mariah May.
Yeah, that's true.
That would have been
that would have been one other thing that we need to, though, that I want to say is I'm glad this is back because the Timeless Toni Storm is a great character, right? But I do think after this and she does whatever she does with Mariah May here, win or lose, we need to maybe venture back into our idea of another time era for Timeless Toni Storm.
So here's where I'm glad you said that because I came up with an idea, writing bullshit. Writing bullshit. Yeah. I was just writing shit on a piece of paper. Look, I fucking marked it on stuff.
We be writing these days.
Oh yeah, all the time. I thought, so she admitted to Tony Time being the performance of a lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
So here's where we could have fun and kind of bend the rules if we want. We're not exactly saying that Timeless Toni Storm is only stuck in the 20s, right?
Right.
It's timeless. We don't know if then that is a performance, right? So yeah, she could go to the 80s. She could go, like, she is timeless. She told us she performs. She could perform different variations of Toni Storm. She could be with the Outrunners. Oh my fucking God. Really? That would be cool. I just came up with that in my brain. She could be the girl. I know that one girl was there. God bless her.
But she became 80s Toni Storm, and she could lift the Outrunners out of poverty with this, man.
That's, you know what I mean?
This is not...
The Outrunners become like her muscle. Because like Luther, God bless you. But we don't necessarily need you every time. If they became her, like, you know,
he could have some fun cameos in 80 Toni Storm, but we don't need him there all the time.
Yeah. Oh, God, that would be. But what I was getting at is Timeless Toni Storm can play any era because we just saw that she played Toni Storm.
Live here in the chat, Derek83 says future Toni Storm with a silver jumpsuit and a ray gun. Yes.
I thought he was gonna say Taz. I thought like she plays the version of Taz with like a black fucking thing.
That's Rewind 89, who is not Taz.
I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry. Yes,
right. Too many 80s up in here.
Yeah, sorry. I apologize. Okay, so let's fast forward to last night. So Mariah May is talking about, we're doing this. We're gonna do the return of Toni Storm. Now Toni Storm. Okay, Toni Storm's not real. That's what she says. She says, you want to play the role of Toni Storm. Okay. Why don't you play Toni Storm, who gave her heart to a woman who used her for gold, ya bitch? She didn't say the last part, but essentially she's, what is she saying here? She goes, I don't need a role to play because I'm that good. I'm the woman from hell. That's what Toni Storm, you may be the woman from hell, but you came from my womb. That's what she said.
Yeah.
And then Mariah May goes, I'll always be the champion, and I'll remind you for your, rest of your pathetic life that this is your AEW Women's World Champion. Fucking presence, man. She just got the presence.
She is awesome. And I don't know where we're going with this quite yet. I mean, because, man, we're having a big showdown. I mean, I'm going to guess Timeless Toni Storm comes away with this title, but like Mariah May is on fire right now.
Well, so if you say future state again, if we say that Timeless Toni Storm beats Mariah May could go, I'm still the fucking best. Well, have her bump into Mercedes Moné let's do Mariah May versus Mercedes Moné. That shit would be awesome.
That would be really good. That would be really good.
Thank you.
It's the M&M and M's.
I did like the line of the night for Mariah May. Goes, looking around, maybe this town should have started with a C, because we're in Huntsville, Alabama.
Nice.
That was the line of the night.
Yeah.
Looking around, maybe this town should have started with a C. Loved it. Great.
Like it.
What do we get? Oh, then we get that vignette about the gun club, Guns Up.
I said this on Blue Sky. They got the Slow Jams R&B music video treatment with this. What are we doing here? Are they going to be back with the Bang Bang Gun, or are they going to be?
I don't know.
Are they going to be Jodeci 2025 here?
Oh, Casey and JoJo.
Listen, if they were cheesing into that, right? Like that could catch fire. I could see that.
I pray for someone like you. Oh,
yeah. Like if they were coming out trying to do the shit, like had a gun, fucking choreographed dances.
Oh, they could be the white guys from All for One. Remember that?
Yeah. What was? Goddamn. Oh,
yeah, All for One. That was fun. 2 white guys in the group. Didn't know that was a thing. I will say the one thing in the vignette that got me pumped a little bit is I believe Annoying Gun was driving around in the car, and they showed that he was listening to Mini Men by 50 Cent.
Yeah, now that could be cool.
That's a top 5.
But they leaned into the Ass Boys. They mentioned that, like, you know, they were kind of pissed off about being called the Ass Boys.
Oh.
Or it's just kind of like part of their, like, this is your life, right? They kind of showed it like a this is your life segment here. But, like, that was a part of it was they didn't shy away from, you know, we called them the Ass Boys and wouldn't let them be called anything but.
Run that shit back. You know what I would do? Here's a fun early segment that you could do, honestly, on the return, right? Renee Paquette in the ring. She brings out the gun club, right? We're going to kind of be indifferent, let's be honest. So they're kind of, we're here to win tag team gold, all this stuff. Guess who comes out? Danhausen. The Ass Boys. And they beat the fuck out of them, right? That's how they could shed the ass, because he came up with it. It was all Danhausen, right?
Yeah, he said Daddy Ass and the Ass Boys.
Right, exactly. So
it was over for them. A throwaway comment to just try to get a chuckle from Danhausen. Fucked them.
Yeah. Well, but if you beat him up, then you get the heat. Again, if you're wanting them to be heels, and you would get a massive pop for the return, even though he was on ROH once, for the return of Danhausen. I think that would be perfect. God damn, I'm fucking good. Big brain. Hey, then the Vendetta.
So big it hurts.
It really does, actually, like kind of right here.
It's like it's swelling, honestly.
Not the first time. The Vendetta, they're backstage.
Name your sex name.
And what do they say here? Deonna Purrazzo. Oh, she's gonna beat up Harley Cameron. Okay.
Yeah.
Saturday on Collision. Guess what? You're gonna feel the wrath.
She's gonna feel the wrath.
Feel the wrath. Love it.
Did you see the segment she did with the Costco guys? She's like, it's Bam, but you'll get it. Love that.
Yeah, very good. And then, as quick as a hiccup, we're at our main event. It is for the TBS.
You got the spreadsheet wrong today.
Well, kind of, because we did get back-to-back women segments, so we're still keeping them together as much as possible.
Yeah, right.
Well, no, brother, motherfucker, no, we got all the women together. Look at this. So we do. We separated them by an Ass Boys vignette is all we did. Yeah. We have FTR have the challenge. Then we get Mariah May, a vignette, but then we get the Vendetta, and then we get Mercedes Moné in this main event against the Magical Girl. And fun.
The match was fun. I agree with you. It was a match, right? Like it was all over the place. They did all the things. This is Mercedes Moné's strong point. Is these matches. The crowd was into it. It was hype. It just still feels like a stalling of this Mercedes Moné character. And, you know, like,
Yeah, the thing that I was hoping potentially that we're getting is similar to Mariah May when she was going through those feuds to establish herself as like the women's world champion. If she's doing Mercedes Moné, that is the I'm just beating everyone across the globe, Yuka, going over to Japan, beating a Glamour, Stardom, all the stuff. Like maybe that's what we're doing. But yeah, we kind of ended with Mercedes Moné. Okay, so again, we get wrestle, fight, wrestle. Mercedes Moné wins. But then that was it. You gotta, in 2025, you can't do TV like it was 1998. You gotta give us something to go to, right? Like, what's the next thing?
Yeah, because she just won this match, and it was like, all right, she won.
Yeah,
that happened.
I didn't like it.
Yeah, it was fine. But yeah, man. I mean, and that was Dynamite.
So where do you think we're going from here? So let's try to take a look. Next week in Atlanta, Georgia, we're getting that Ricochet and Swerve Strickland match. So we got that to look forward to. What else are you looking forward to?
We're gonna get another crossing of the paths of MJF and Hangman.
Yeah. Here's the question for you. Do you think out of the Swerve Strickland Ricochet post-match shenanigans, because it's going to be that, right? Whoever wins isn't just going to then walk away. Something I think is going to happen, right?
Right.
Is that then when Hangman comes out? Because here's the thought I have. Let me throw this at you. See how it fits. Swerve beats Ricochet, right? Swerve then is like, this motherfucker has tried to ruin my life. I'm going to kill him, right? Post-match. So then he grabs him. And let's say he's going to do the concrete stomp, right? Puts the concrete on Ricochet's head, gets up to the top rope. Hangman comes out and was like, it's not going to make you feel better.
Yeah.
And he's like,
listen,
what?
That's why I've been trying to find you.
Yeah.
Tell you that I understand now. You shouldn't. Yeah. If Hangman's nothing else but maniacally trying to get Swerve to stop being violent, and that continues their feud for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, like, well, yeah, no. I almost might. Yeah, it depends on how quickly we're moving on MJF Hangman, right? Because do you just kind of keep Hangman trying to do this, and then we build up Swerve doing a few more dastardly evil things, right? So then Hangman has a little more ammunition, because right now Swerve's the good guy, right? Like he's not really doing that as much, right?
All right. I'm going to throw this at you.
I mean, he's toilet papering people right now, right? He's not.
Well, which good. Yeah,
you know
good.
what I mean? But he's not like,
swirly.
But he's not stabbing guys with scissors, right?
Right. Exactly. Yeah, it was harmless fun what he did to Ricochet. Ricochet tried to kill him, right?
Yeah. So we need Swerve to, before Hangman can be like, don't do this, not worth it. Let me attest to that. We need Swerve to amp it up a little more first, I think.
Well, but I think putting a concrete block on his head and it's like, I'm going to fucking.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. Here you go.
Or he's got the scissors and he's like, oh, you've been trying to, and then, right?
Yeah.
Hand stops him and he's like, don't do it. Right?
Yeah. Here's what you do. Look at this. Listen to this. Tell me what you think. And let us know in the chat. I'm going to check out the chat because now I can actually look at the chat. Okay. This is what I do. You do Ricochet, Swerve next week. Swerve wins. Swerve, because I think it would be a better visual. Swerve goes to put the concrete block on Ricochet's head. Prince Nana's like he's gone, right? Like he's trying to stop Swerve, but Swerve is just get the fuck out of here. So that's boss.
Like,
so I'm getting out of the way.
Boss, don't, not here. No, boss, not like this.
Right. And so he gets up on the top rope. You hear the music. Hangman rolls into the ring. It's not worth it. And he's like, what? It's not going to be worth it. Swerve jumps down. Hangman then just leaves, right? Because he realizes, he's not going to go on. Ricochet has gone out of the ring, right?
Yeah.
Hangman then leaves. The next week, Swerve is like, Hangman, I don't know what the fuck you thought you were doing. We're going to talk about this. Yeah. So you do a heart to heart. Hey, after I put that fucking needle in your mouth and all of that shit, And after what I did to
I
Christopher
don't feel
Daniels,
better.
yeah, it's not going to get you any closer to what
worse.
you're wanting to feel.
My wife's
Yeah.
talking about leaving me. Like I'm like this is bad news.
Yeah. And so you do kind of a heart to heart, but then here's where you go, because fuck Jeff Jarrett, right? So this is what you do. So you have this heart to heart. Listen, because you
Okay.
do this heart to heart, and Swerve is like, you know what? Next time you get in my business, we're going to get back at it. But for right now, I'm out of here. He leaves. Hangman then kind of just stands in the ring alone. You can thank me later. MJF walks out and it's like, oh, so now you're a prophecy. You're just giving out all this fun. You know, like, and just it's like, who the fuck do you think are telling people what to do? And then there you go. MJF, Hangman, fuck you, Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah, fuck you, Jeff Jarrett. I can't think of a better way to end this show than on a fuck you, Jeff Jarrett. So remember, fuck you, Jeff Jarrett, and check out AllEliteWrapup.com for all the links you might need, and send us any emails, aewrapup@gmail.com, right? Text, video, audio. We're going to play them here, read them here, do all that stuff. We want to talk to you. You can join us live in the chat while we do this show. And Tom, unless you got anything else, I'll say, fuck Jeff Jarrett.
Time.